Morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday. We're back to breakfast, so you already know what it is. We've got 100 grams of oats now because carbs have gone up again. We've got some fruit. I'm not tracking my fruit or my sauces or my vegetables. We've got 20 grams of chocolate, 15 grams of peanut butter for them fats, 2 eggs, and 200 milligrams or 200 grams of egg whites. Supplements wise, 2 fish oils, 1 digestive enzyme, and then 1 glucosamine. I try and not take anything with high amounts of antioxidants around my training because this is my pre-workout meal as well as my breakfast. If you're having high amounts of antioxidants like vitamin C and things like that, it's going to affect the inflammation response, which we actually kind of want. There's a certain amount of inflammation that we need whilst we're training to give our body a reason to adapt to it. So no antioxidants just yet. Antioxidants wait till the evening before bed. We've got a new contender. Here I have the Swig Savvy metal gallon bottle. I bought this from Amazon. This is not a sponsored post, but because plastic we know is pretty bad for ourselves. Drinking things out of plastic which is reused, has BPA in it, can affect our testosterone levels supposedly. So drinking out of a metal bottle is not only good for us for getting all those chemicals away from us, but also it's good for the environment. So invest in a Swig Savvy or any other brand gallon metal jug. I bought it from Amazon. Comes in a nice little box, water bottle, Swig Savvy. Save yourself, save the environment. Now I have to confess, I did actually make my intra workout previously, then it arrived. So I will decanter. I'm not wasting this. There's 80 grams of carbs in here. I'm not wasting that. I'm also going to throw this bottle away because it's kind of moldy. Yeah, it's kind of moldy. Which is also another good thing about Swig Savvy bottles. You can machine wash them. I don't actually know if you can machine wash them. As I said, this isn't a sponsored video. But it's probably a lot easier to clean than a plastic bottle anyway, so. Swig Savvy. Please sponsor me. Does anybody else have this issue in their car? Oh, that's it for now. That's pretty good for me. That was pretty good. Normally I have multiple protein wrappers. Just knocking around, you know? Just knocking around. Okay, so in this video you're basically getting both of my push sessions that I normally do in the week. The first one was the little edit. That was my first kind of chest session of the week, and this is my second push session of the week. So chest, shoulders and triceps all getting hit throughout this video. Lateral raises to start off the workout, a little bit of a warm-up exercise, but also just kind of priming that lateral head. A lot of like men's physique and bodybuilding, we need big shoulders. Here we have just a little sneaky tip for if you're benching. Add a resistance band and you get a lot more friction going through, so you've got a lot more grip going through your upper body. Later on I changed this to 2 resistance bands, but for the first part you can try 1 or 2, either way. It both helps for a little bit more grip. You can push your glutes into it, you can push your shoulders into it. It's a good way of being able to grip onto the bench a little bit further. I would also recommend, if you find that your scapula is not really retracting very easily, maybe add a mat on top of the bench. That might also help, because that could also help with a little bit more scapular retraction if the bench is a little bit wider. So we're starting off, the main exercise is this bench press. I haven't bench pressed in a very, very long time. The only reason I've added it in this training cycle was because of my lower back. I couldn't really do anything where I was lifting the dumbbells off the rack. So for the past, last week, when I came back into training after I damaged my lower back, I went straight into bench press instead of dumbbell press. This is me changing the resistance band. There you go. So I've got 2 resistance band on there. So it's helpful for any kind of resistance. Here we've also got the hammer. Well, it's not a hammer strength, but it's similar to a hammer strength incline press, where I'm just adding blocks underneath the machine just to get it out of the hole a little bit. It's not very ergonomic for your shoulder to be taking it out of a very close position, so that's why I add that in. I've also put resistance bands onto this exercise, which makes the lockout a hell of a lot harder, obviously making it a little bit easier towards the bottom. But because our chest is a muscle group that pulls our arms together rather than just pressing forward, making the lockout a little bit harder when your arms are getting closest together is very good for chest activation. So if you haven't tried this, I would recommend trying it. I would recommend also wearing wrist wraps as well. It does put quite a lot of pressure through my wrists, so maybe also with yours. But something you want to really focus on when you're doing this movement is focusing on driving your elbows together. Obviously, we don't want to go past a comfortable position that our elbows are in. You don't want to overextend. If you do have flexible elbow joints, or if you've got double jointed elbows, then do be careful with that movement, but majority of people should be fine. After that, we went into weighted tricep dips. This is 27 kilos for 12 or 13 reps, I think. Again, I quite like to wear wrist supports on these as well, especially when you're starting to go heavier into the 50, 60 kilo weighted dips, obviously for less reps, but you do put a lot of weight through your wrists. Some people have weaker wrists than others. I think I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not like too strong, I'm not too weak. Next was shoulder press. This machine is not very difficult. Like, I can stack it very easily for like 12 or 13 reps, but it's one of those things that we can't control. We just have to add reps or add resistance where we can. Originally I would have done dumbbell press, but my gym has broken its incline bench, so I've pretty much given up on that for now. I'm picking cable flies over pec deck at the moment. I just find the contraction is a lot better on those. And here we have some lateral dumbbell raises. I call this a MESS set, MESS. It's basically 2 high rep drop sets. So you go from like 15 reps on a high weight, 15 reps on a light weight, and then you follow that with as many partials as you can get with a heavier weight. I haven't done this setup for a while. It's something I've come back to. I've done it before, and you get a very, very good pump off it. It's not easy to do. I would especially recommend using lifting straps as well. If you haven't got bear grips or some sort of type of multi-grip strap, then all the better. You don't want your forearms to give out before your lateral head. And the partials to finish at the end really do get the lactic acid built up. So another one that I would recommend for you. Next, we went into a little bit of abs. I only really do one exercise of abs for 3 sets in the week. Might repeat it once or twice, but it's always the same exercise basically, and then supersetting that with extended rope tricep pull downs for a little bit further of range of movement. Then I finished this session off with a little bit of posing at the end. Granted, this isn't the best angle, but things are moving progressively with weight. Weight is definitely pushing up. Body fat is being added, but also size and muscle density, I think, is also being added, making progression with my training across the board. So you can't argue with that if the weight is going up as well. Looking forward to what I'm going to push to this next off season. I've obviously been in that dieting phase for the photo shoot, but this next phase in my training is going to bring a whole new weight. I'm going to aim to get up to the highest weight I've ever been.